name's Joella. I'm with UMBC Rec. We're going to do about a 50 to 55 minute yoga practice. Please make sure that you listen to your body as we move through our practice. I will be cueing some modifications, but make sure if anything doesn't feel right, you can definitely feel free to skip it or take any modifications that you want. Also, please make sure that you've checked with a healthcare provider before starting a new exercise routine. So we're going to start seated on our mat, so just find a comfortable position. Cross-legged if that doesn't feel right, but you have your legs extended. And we are going to use a strap today, so I have a yoga strap. If you don't have one of these at home, that's totally fine. You can grab your regular belt or the tie to your robe or a towel or anything that is basically going to make your reach a little bit longer, and just have that sitting towards the top of your mat. So go ahead, sit up nice and tall. You can close your eyes if that feels right for you, or maybe just allow your gaze to soften. And just notice how this feels. Notice your breathing, not really changing anything yet, but just being aware. And then take a nice deep inhale through your nose and sigh out your mouth. And again, inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh it out. One more time like this. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Again, just sitting up nice and tall. Your sits bones on the bottom of your bum should both be in contact with the floor. Trying to get your shoulders over your hips and then your ear over your shoulders, so your spine's nice and long. Continuing to breathe deeply. Let's take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And exhale out your nose. Inhale, feeling your lungs expand, feeling your chest float up. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Go ahead, place one hand on your belly and the other one on your chest. And as you inhale, first feel your belly expand, and then feel it move up into your chest, and then your throat. And then exhale the same way, so from your throat, your chest, and then your belly. And again, inhale, belly, chest, throat. Exhale, throat, chest, belly. And again, inhale, belly, chest, throat, exhale, throat, chest, belly. One more time. Inhale, belly, chest, throat, exhale, throat, chest, belly. You can just release your hands back down to your legs. Just continuing this nice, deep, equal 3-part breath. We want to try and maintain this breath while we move through our practice. So if at any point you notice that it's getting harder to breathe, it might be a good sign that maybe you go back out a little bit or take a modification. We want to find a nice balance of effort and ease throughout our practice. Let's go ahead, blink your eyes open, and we're going to take a nice deep inhale and reach our arms up overhead. And then exhale back down by your sides. And again, inhale, arms reach out and up, palms facing together. Exhale, hands back down. Inhale, arms out and up, holding with your arms up, shoulder distance apart. Again, palms facing together, so your pinkies are kind of like facing forward, and your outer upper arm, your tricep, is wrapping in towards your face. One more breath here. Inhale here, and exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So your right hand comes behind you, left hand comes in front of you. And you're just twisting as much as you can from your core and not necessarily using your hands to yank you around. Still sitting up nice and tall. One more breath, lifting your back ribs up and away from your sacrum. On an inhale, coming back up through center. And exhale, twisting to the left. Same thing, left hand comes behind you, right hand in front of you, but just twisting from where you can in your center. not using your arms to help you. Lifting your rib cage up and away from the floor. One more breath here. Inhale, arms back up through center. And one more time, exhale, twisting to the right. A little faster and dynamically this time. Inhale, back together. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, right hand comes to the floor, left hand reaches up and over, finding a nice side stretch through your left side body, but still lifting your right rib cage up and away from the right front hip. Keeping both your sits bones in contact with the floor, so we're not letting our left hip pop up. One more breath here. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, left hand to the floor, right hand comes up and over. Again, finding space through your left side body. One more breath. Inhale, back up through center. And again, flowing through this dynamically. So exhale over to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale up through center. And exhale, hands down by your side. We're going to come onto all fours. Let's go ahead and flip on over. So wrists are going to be right under shoulders, knees right under our hips. Crown of our head reaching forward, tailbone lip reaching back. So your spine, again, is long here. Wrist creases are parallel or slightly turned out to the front edge of our mat. We're going to do a few cat-cow stretches here. So nice deep inhale, belly button drops, collarbone broadens, tailbone lifts up to the sky for cow. And then exhale, chin to chest, belly button to spine, tailbone lengthens down towards the back of your knees. Pushing the floor away, wrapping your outer upper arms in for cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Let's do it 3 more times, matching your movement with your breath. Just moving at your own pace. Arms are strong here, pressing your hands down into the floor, maybe a little more into your thumb and forefinger. Really feeling the movement through your spine. After your third one, coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to inhale our left hand forward and up, and our right leg up and back. So your right hand or left hand is reaching forward, right out from your shoulder, palm facing towards the midline. Pushing the floor away with your right hand. Your right leg is lifted, outer hips really hugging in, toes and knees pointing down towards the floor so that your leg is neutral and not spinning out toward the side. Exhale, release, other side, inhale, right arm, left leg. Arm right to shoulder height, so it's right outside your ear. Your spine's still neutral here, so we haven't let our belly button drop. So our front hip points are lifting towards our low ribs. And exhale, release. Flowing through that, nice deep inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, release. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm, right leg, last time on each side. Release. Right arm, left leg. And release. Go ahead, tuck your toes under here for a moment. We're going to press down into our hands, keeping our spine neutral. Think of engaging your core a little bit, so belly button to spine here. Pressing down into the balls of your feet. Lift your knees up off the floor like an inch. Outer upper arms wrapping in, spine long, gaze is forward, broadening through your collarbone here. 2 more breaths. Go ahead, lower your knees back down. Extend your right leg towards the back of your mat, toes tucked under. Left leg steps back to meet it. in plank pose here. You can always be on your knees, but you want a nice long line from the crown of your head either to your knees or to the balls of your feet. So front hip points lifting up towards your low ribs so that your tailbone is lengthening towards the backs of your feet so your hips aren't hiked up. Outer upper arms wrap in. We're going to hinge forward slightly and lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2. Pausing here in chaturanga. Pressing back up through plank. Nice deep breath here in plank again. Inhale, hinge forward, and exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. So wrist creases right underneath of your elbows, wrapping your outer upper arms in. Tops of your feet down onto the floor. Exhale here. Inhale, chest, shoulders, head lift. For baby bhujangasana, cobra. Elbows right over top of wrists, tailbone still lengthening down. Inner thighs think of lifting up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. And exhale, lower down. This time we're going to tuck our toes under. So really press down into the balls of your feet. Think of your thighs lifting up and away from the floor. I know mine don't come off the floor when I'm right here. Yours might, but it's just that action of lifting them up. So lengthening your tailbone back. Again, wrist creases are right underneath of your shoulders. Exhale here. You can either do baby cobra again or press into your hands and come into upward facing dog. So shoulders right over top of wrist. Thinking of your sternum moving forward through your arms. Next long. Front hip points lifting up towards your low ribs. Inner thighs lifting up. One more breath. From here, still thinking of your tailbone lengthening back, you're going to press into your hands, come into plank pose. One more breath here. Drop your knees to hover off the floor about an inch. One more breath. Lifting your knees up. Press into your hands, lifting from your inner thighs, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathing here. So hands are shoulder distance, maybe slightly wider apart. Arms nice and straight, pressing down through your index finger and your thumb. Triceps wrapping in. Tailbone is lengthening up behind you to where like the wall and ceiling meet. So a little bend in your knees so that you can find length in your spine. Feet are parallel to each other, heels lifted right above your second toe. And about hips distance apart. One more breath here. Go ahead, gently lower your knees down to the floor. Swing your legs around you, and we're going to come onto our backs. So this is one of the places you're going to want that strap. So we're going to start with your left foot planted to the floor. And go ahead and grab your strap. You're going to loop it around the ball of your right foot and extend your right foot towards the ceiling. So we're just going to gently begin to open and stretch our hamstrings, the back of that right leg. So just take your strap in both hands. Breathing here. If you need a little bit more and it feels comfortable in your body, you can extend your left leg down the mat. But we want it to engage, so toes and knees pointing up towards the ceiling, outer hip hugging in, that inner thigh wrapping down towards the floor. And then also, as you are gently stretching this right leg, let's make sure that our spine is still neutral. So we want to have a little lift behind our neck and a little lift behind our low back. So we don't want to pull on our leg so much that our pelvis is tilting up and we're completely flattening out our low back. So your hips are neutral, kind of moving your low ribs and your front hip point away from each other so that there's maybe an inch or so right here behind your lumbar spine. One more breath here. Go ahead, bend your left leg back into the floor if it was extended. Release your right down to the net. So other side. Right foot flat to the floor. We're going to loop our strap around the left leg, taking one side of it in both hands. Just breathing here. Again, just gently opening up our hamstrings, not trying to force anything. We're going to maybe about 80%. You don't want to hyperextend that leg, so just to where you can feel that stretch. And again, feeling that lift of our low back up off the floor. And then if it feels good in your body, you can extend your right leg down the mat. Legs still engaged, so thigh pressing down towards the thigh bone, outer hip hugging in. It's neutral, so it's not turned out to the side, but pointing out to the ceiling. One more breath here. Go ahead, bend your right foot in, planting it down to the floor. If it was extended, release your left foot and bring it down to meet the right. From here, grab the outer edges of your mat with your hands. If that feels right for you. If that feels weird, you don't have to. It's personal preference. I like it. But feet are going to be hips distance apart, heels right underneath of your knees, and feet parallel to each other. So heel right behind your second toe. Inhale here. Exhale. And then press into your feet and lift your hips up towards the sky. Lengthening your tailbone down towards the backs of your knees. Outer hips hugging in. Thighs, inner thighs spinning down towards the floor. And your rib cage moving away from your hips. And then you're just using, the edges of your mat to press your arms down into the floor, giving you a little bit more leverage there. One more breath. And exhale, lower your hips back down towards the floor. We're going to do this again. If you were holding on to the edges of your mat, you can stay right there, or you can release it. We'll take a little bit further this time. Exhale here, inhale, press into your feet, hips lift. And then you can interlace your hands or maybe cross your thumbs behind your back, but walk your shoulders under and press down into the backs of your arms to help you lift your hips a little bit further. Breathing here, maintaining space between your chin and your chest as you broaden through your collarbone. One more breath. You can release your hands, walk your shoulders back out, and slowly bring your hips back down to the floor. We're going to do that one more time. You can take any of the modifications that we walked through. Exhale here. Inhale, press down into your feet, lifting your hips up, interlacing your hands or your thumbs, holding on to the sides of your mat, but pressing your arms down, pressing down your feet, lifting your front hip points, those little protrusions right here, up toward your low ribs, so that there's length through your low back. While we're still in the back bend. One more breath. Releasing your hands, exhale, hips release to the floor, and then gently just let your hips, your knees go from side to side. Go ahead, hug your knees into your chest. You make a little ball. And then release back down to the floor. We're going to interlace our hands behind our head. Elbows are out to the side, so we don't want them closed in so they're right by our face, but you want to just barely be able to see them in your peripheral vision. So extend your left leg down your mat, hug your right knee into your chest. Exhale here, inhale. We're going to hover our left leg off the floor about an inch, lift your chest, shoulders up, and twist to your right, so you're bringing your left elbow towards your right knee. Inhale here, exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale here, exhale, twist to the right. Nice and slow and controlled. And twist. Exhale, twist. Space between your chin and your chest like you had an orange or something sitting there. And twist. Twist.
we still breathing? And twist. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Go ahead, hug your knees into your chest, release your head, shoulders down. And then we're going to meet in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So you can just sit up and get there however you want, or maybe take a few little rocks here, crossing your legs, coming up and over, and stepping back. So again, hands shoulder distance, maybe slightly wider apart, feet hips distance apart, pressing down through your hands, through the balls of your feet. Little bend in your knees to find length through your spine. Look towards your hands at the bottom of your exhale. Walk your feet up to a forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, so all four sides of your rib cage reaching forward, crown of your head reaching forward. Shoulder blades gently pulled together on your back. And exhale, release. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, right back down, Uttanasana. Stepping your right foot back behind you, lunge, broadening through your collarbones here. So coming up on your fingertips, almost like this was our Ardha Uttanasana. Planting your hands, stepping your left foot back. Always option to have your knees down here. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. This time on the tops of your feet if you're an up dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. The bottom of your exhale, step your right foot up between your hands. Again, broadening through your collarbone here, coming up onto your fingertips. Outer hips hugging in, thinking of your inner thighs squeezing together. Stepping your left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, right back down, Uttanasana. Stepping your left foot back, low lunge. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog, and breathe. One more breath here. The bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands, stepping your left foot forward. Exhale, right foot meets it, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hips sink back, Utkatasana chair pose. So pressing down to all four corners of your feet, hips reaching back, front hip points lifting up towards your low ribs, away from your thigh bones, so you're not sticking your bum out, but your spine is neutral. Inhale here, and exhale, releasing your hands down by your sides, extend them behind you, palms facing together. Maybe sinking down a little bit further. And exhale, forward fold. So options here, you can flow through your vinyasa, taking your Chaturanga and your back bend, or just step it back, downward facing dog, you pick. But we'll meet here in down dog. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up to three-legged dog, so right to hip height, outer hips hugging in, inner thigh lifting up towards the sky. And exhale, step it through between your hands. And heel toe the right foot over to the midline, spinning your left heel down so your outer edge of that left foot is touching the floor while that left thigh spins in. And inhale up, warrior two. So front knee right over top of our ankle, hips lifting up towards your low ribs, tailbone lengthened down towards the floor. Arms up to a T, you can gaze out over your right fingertips. Breathing here, shoulders square to the long edge of your mat. Pressing down to the big toe mound of that front foot, as you lift through that right inner thigh. Exhale here. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand to left leg. Right hand reaches up like we did in our warm-up, making space through our right side body, but still maintaining a little space here so we're not just collapsing into our left side. Inhale, press down through the right foot, straightening that leg. And inhale, arms back out to a T. Exhale, Trikonasana. Right fingertips reach to the right, hips go to the left, pressing down through that front foot. That right hand comes, you can set it down to your shin, maybe to the inside or outside of that front foot. Still pressing down to the outer edge of your left foot as that left inner thigh spins in. Reaching both sides of your rib cage forward equally. And then maybe gazing up at that top hand if it feels okay on your neck, meaning it doesn't cause any sort of discomfort. One more breath. Exhale, look down towards your bottom hand. Inhale up, warrior two. Exhale, hands come down to frame that right foot, step it back. And options, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more breath here. And inhale, your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Outer hips hugging in. Think of your inner thighs squeezing together, that same action, even though your legs aren't right next to each other. Go ahead, step that left foot forward between your hands. And you heel toe it over to the midline, spinning your right heel down. Right thigh spinning in as you press down to the outer edge of that back foot. And inhale, warrior two. Left knee right over top of that left ankle. So if you look down, you can see your big toe. We want to make sure that that knee isn't pointing, towards the top right corner of our mat, but that it's going right out over our second toe. You can do that by lifting up from your inner left thigh. You're thinking of your left inner knee moving towards your pinky toe side of your hands. So arms come out to a T, shoulders are squared towards the long edge of your mat. Look out over your left fingertips and breathe here. Inhale, right hand to right leg, left hand reaches up behind you, reverse warrior. And your next inhale, pressing down through that left foot, straightening that left leg. Exhale here, inhale, up to stand. And then exhale, left fingertips towards the left, right hip goes out to the right. Left hand comes to the inside of your left leg, Trikonasana triangle pose. Finding space through both sides of your waist. You can look up to that top hand, but lifting up through your thighs, lifting your kneecaps up away from the floor. One more breath, spine's long. Exhale, look down towards the bottom hand. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, hands come down to either side of that front foot. An option to flow through your vinyasa or skip it, but we'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathing here. Inhale, your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. And exhale, bringing your shoulders over your wrists and your knee towards your nose. Inhale, bring it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee towards your right tricep, broadening through your collarbone, looking forward here. Inhale, and you can always bring that left knee down to the ground here if you need. And exhale, bring it across your midline towards your left tricep. Inhale, bring it back. And exhale, step it all the way through to the inside of that left thumb. Sitting up here before we come up for high lunge. We want our knee over top of our ankle, feet are hips distance apart but spread out. That back heel is over top of our second toe. Outer hips hugging in. Inhale your arms forward and up, high lunge. Little bend in that back knee so that we can lengthen our tailbone down, lifting your front hip points up and away from your thigh bones. Exhale here, inhale, pressing down through your feet, straightening both legs. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, and hold. Inhale here, outer hips really hugging in. Exhale, twisting to the right. Right hand comes back behind you, left hand in front. Again, just wherever you can twist from your core. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, releasing your hands down to the floor. Option to flow through your vinyasa or skip it and come to downward facing dog. Breathing here just for a moment. Inhale your left leg up and back. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, knee to right, left tricep, excuse me. Inhale, up and back. Exhale it over, crossing the midline, coming to your right tricep. Inhale it up and back. Exhale, step it through. Again, taking a moment here before we come up to set it up. So pressing down through all four corners of that front foot, pressing down through the ball of our left foot. Heel right above our second toe, outer hips hugging in. Inhale, arms forward and up, micro bend in that back knee. Breathing here. Lengthening your tailbone down. Maybe you feel a little bit of a stretch here through that right hip flexor. Inhale, straightening both legs. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, and hold. So our lower body's going to stay the same. Outer hips hugging in, lifting our hip points up. Inhale here, exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Stepping that left leg back. Chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog and pause. 2 more breaths here. Maybe taking a moment to reconnect to that 3-part breath from our warm-up. Go ahead, step your right foot forward, the inside of your right thumb, and then gently place your left knee down to the floor. You can roll up your mat or put a blanket or something there if that feels uncomfortable. We're going to uncurl our left toes. Step nice and tall here in our low lunge. Allow your hips to come forward slightly so you're getting a nice stretch through that hip flexor. Spine nice and long, outer hips hugging in. Think of your inner thighs squeezing together. So you can stay right here if this is enough for you, or we're going to plant our left hand down right underneath of our left shoulder and swim your right hand behind you, kind of taking a twist here. So spine is still long. We don't want to overarch our back. And see if you can reach back for that, that left leg. Left foot. Maybe you can grab just your big toe. You can come to the inside or outside of that foot. But outer hips staying hugged in, so we're not collapsing over to one side or the other.
And this is also a spot where you can loop your strap around it there if you can't quite reach your foot. Still pressing down to the big toe mound of that right foot. One more breath here. And then slowly release that left foot. Right hand comes back down this floor. Curl your left toes under, lifting your left knee up. Step it back, downward facing dog. We'll do the other side. So left foot steps up to the inside of your left thumb. Gently placing your right knee down to the floor. You can roll up your mat, place a pillow there, uncurling your right toes. Making space through your spine here, really hugging in your outer hips, thinking of your thighs pulling together, pressing down through that all four corners of that front foot. Right hand, actually not yet. Let's just pause here for a moment, take a few breaths. Hips moving forward, opening up through that right hip flexor. Bringing your right hand down just below your right shoulder. We're going to swim our left hand back behind us, finding a twist here, but keeping our spine long, and reach back for that right foot. Breathing here. You can look up over that shoulder if that feels right for you, but pressing down into that right hand, outer upper arm wrapping in. That right knee is still pointing right out over our second toe, so it's not falling out to the side. One more breath. Releasing that leg. Left arm comes up to the sky. Come step back down to the outer edge of our left foot, curling your right toes under, lifting that knee up. Step it back. Downward facing dog. One more breath. Inhale, forward, shoulders over wrists, and exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Reach back, make sure you have enough room on your mat. Have your strap, that's what it's called, your strap handy. And go ahead, bring your chin, maybe your forehead to the floor. If that feels really awful for you, you can bring one cheek to the floor. And hands just by your side for a moment. So let's start with our legs hip distance apart, tops of our feet pressing down to the floor, tailbone lengthening down and back, inner thighs lifting up towards the ceiling. Exhale here, inhale, chest, shoulders, arms lift, palms facing in towards each other, so in towards your hips. Breathing here. Half locust pose. Crown of your head's reaching forward, so we're not craning our neck up, but the back of your neck should be smooth. And exhale, lower down. Breathing here. Exhale. Inhale, arms, chest, shoulders lift. This time your legs lift a few inches off the floor. So not coming to our max, maybe like 80%. But breathing here. One more breath. And exhale, lower down. So this time a few options. You can clasp your hands behind your back if you can get your arms straight without locking them out and your wrists together. You can also interlace your thumbs or take that strap right behind your back. So whichever feels right for you. So exhale here. Inhale. Everything lifts up off the floor. So tailbone lengthening towards the back of your knees, hip points lifting up towards your low ribs. So in theory, your hips are the only thing on the floor. Hi, Artemis. Breathing here. Legs nice and long, thighs lifting up. And exhale, lowering down, releasing your hands, coming to one cheek to the floor. Bend your knees and just windshield wiper them, your legs from side to side. After a few breaths here, you can switch to the other cheek. Releasing your legs down.
Hands right underneath of your shoulders, walk them back so that your wrists are underneath of your elbows. Tucking your toes under, inner thighs lifting up. Exhale here, inhale, press it all the way up in one long line to plank pose. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more breath. Bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands. Walk, step, or float your feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, releasing your hands. Tadasana, mountain pose. Taking a breath here. All right, come to face the long edge of your mat. And if you know that you need, we're going to do the same hands that we just did in our Shalabhasana. So hands clasped behind you, thumbs, or again, the strap, just holding it where you could reach it. So if you know you need your strap, feel free to grab that. But we're going to step our legs nice and wide so that your ankles would be about under your wrists if you had your arms out to a T. Feet are parallel to each other, so your heel is right behind your second toe. They should be lined up about that short edge of your mat. So pressing down through all four corners of your feet and lift your thighs, kneecaps up towards your hips. Tailbone lengthening down and back. Interlace your hands behind your back, or maybe clasping your thumbs or your strap. Inhale, stand up nice and tall, and then exhale, use that length to tilt forward. Movement coming from your hips. Your hip points are moving towards your thighs. And then exhale, forward fold, hands come up and over. But still maintaining that strength in your legs, so not just dropping down into the stretch, but finding the effort here with the muscle engagement. Spine's long, pressing down through your feet, lifting up through your thighs. Think of your sits bones, the protrusions at the bottom of your bum, kind of moving together towards each other. One more breath. And exhale, slowly release your hands down towards the floor. Hands to your hips. Exhale here, elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then just gently heel toe your feet in towards each other. So next we're going to take a dancer's pose. So again, it's an option to use your strap here. I'll demonstrate it both ways. So you'll just take your strap in your right hand here. Left hand can come to your hip to start. Pressing down through all four corners of that left leg, lifting up on your left thigh. You're going to bend your right foot towards your bum. So if you can reach back with your hand and grab the inside of that right foot, you can do that. Or you can loop that strap around your foot. Okay, so whichever you need. But go ahead, keeping your left hand to your hip for now, pressing down through all four corners of your left foot, lifting up on your left quadricep. Reach back for the inside or for your strap of that right foot. So we're going to stand up nice and tall. This whole time we're going to think of our front hip points moving up towards our low ribs, so we're not overarching in our low back. You are going to kick that right foot into your right hand. That's going to allow that leg to come up behind you and begin a back bend through your thoracic spine, so the spine that's connected to your rib cage. Inhale, still kicking back, maybe tilting forward slightly, keeping that standing leg strong, lifting up on your left quadricep. Maybe your right hand can come up in front of you. Thinking of your inner thighs still squeezing together, hips are neutral. And slowly releasing your left or right leg back down, releasing your foot, bringing it down to meet the left. All right, other side. So stepping down through all four corners of your right foot, lifting up on that right quadricep. Hip points lifting up toward your low ribs, tailbone lengthening down, sort of engaging your core here. Begin to bend that left leg and reach back for the inner edge of that left foot. So your thighs are going to stay neutral here. We're not going to let that leg open up to the side. Keeping your right hand to your hip here to start. Inhale here, exhale. Begin to press your foot into your left hand. And that action is going to bring your leg up behind you and begin you to tilt forward slightly, but it's not like a forward fold. We're not actively trying to go forward.
Hey, Mama.
Finding a back bend. Thank you, Gigi. I see it, baby.
That's my favorite.
Baby, mommy's recording. Breathing here. You can lift that right arm up in front of you. George Jean. Releasing your right hand.
I just want to tell
And
you
you're like,
something.
Gigi, I need you to wait, baby girl. Releasing that leg down behind you. Breathing here. All right, come back up to the top of your mat. Georgia, if you want to watch, can you watch from over there, baby? Go sit right over there and watch. All right, sorry. Inhale, arms forward and up, or out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, stepping your feet back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Lowering your knees gently to the floor, crossing at your ankles, and just coming to a nice seated position. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together for Baddha Konasana. So sits bones in contact with the floor. If you feel like a curving in your low back, you can sit up on a blanket, maybe roll up your mat. But sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, hinging forward slightly. You want to do it with me, baby? Sit. Your hips are going to move forward so that you're not just rounding through your spine, but that you're forward folding from your hips. Your elbows can gently press your knees open, but this is just going to be a nice counter pose to all of the neutrally rotated things we did today. I see you, baby.
This is treasure chest pose.
Oh, cool.
And it's actually butterfly pose too.
Go ahead, inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then slowly we're going to make our way down to our backs. Lay down next to mommy. Okay. All right, so on your back, we're just going to take a couple twists. I'm realizing you might not be able to see me. Okay, take a couple twists. So arms out like cactus, and then exhale your knees over to the left, stacking your hips and your knees on top of each other. One more breath here. Inhaling your knees back up through center. And then exhale, allow them to fall over to your right gently, stacking your knees and your hips on top of each other, trying to keep your knees up to hip height. Exhale here. Inhale your knees back up through center. Go ahead, give your knees a little hug. Yeah. And then we're going to come into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. So just find a spot on your mat, extending your legs down. Or you can keep your knees in bent if that feels better on your low back. Hands can just rest to your belly or by your sides. We'll just find a position here where you can let your body feel heavy, Allow your mind to quiet. You can stay here as long as you'd like, but when you're ready, go ahead and bring your awareness back to your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, and just slowly make your way back up to a comfortable seated position.
We did Shavasana.
Sit up nice and tall. We'll take a few breaths together here before we complete our practice. Nice deep inhale, arms come out and up. And exhale, release them back down. 2 more times. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, this time bringing your hands down through heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste.
Namaste.
Again, my name is Joella with UMBC Rec. Thanks for joining me today. Have a good one.